Good morning. Sorry, I had a little technology issue getting started right on time. Outside, it's a beautiful day. You can hear the chimes. Let me just double check that my mat, the back. So working on some spine twists, some hip openers that will help to release some low back pain. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll meet you on the mat. So let's begin today. Sitting up, just sitting in a comfortable position. So that could just be sitting with your legs crossed, or if it's more comfortable to have the feet on the floor and sitting up, or move into lotus if you choose. So sit tall. Just take a moment to close your eyes. Allow your hands to be on your legs. If you are seeking to be more open, you can turn your palms up. And if you feel you need to be more grounded, you can turn your palms down and connect with your legs that are connected with the ground. And just close your eyes. And take some long, slow, deep breaths. As you are taking these deep breaths, feel how the air enters through the nose, fills your lungs. Notice how your chest and back expand. And then as you exhale, how there's that release of tension through the chest. Breathing. Start to think about things that give you joy. And I use the word things loosely. So I'm not exploring or reading a book. And also, as you continue your breath, think about a time that you were laughing so hard that you could hardly stop. Maybe you had tears running down your face. Maybe you had to sit down. Maybe you couldn't even speak because you were laughing so hard. And just think about that moment and how you felt, the joy that filled your body, your mind, your heart. And let that be your thought today in your practice. Your eyes are closed, you can open them. Inhale, reach your arms high to the ceiling. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms down by your side. And as you're lowering your arms, your shoulders are down. Inhale as you reach. You're just lengthening your arms. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, use breath. Maybe this time you look up toward your hand. Exhale, lower down. Placing your left hand in front of your legs, your right hand behind you, and just take a gentle twist. Look over your shoulder. Be gentle with your neck. Reach your arms up high. Inhale. And then exhale, switch arms. Lowering the hands to the ground, gentle twist the other way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down by your side. You can place your hands on your legs or down by your side, whatever's comfortable for you. And gently drop your chin toward your chest. You feel the back of the neck begin to stretch. Try sitting up nice and tall. Lift your head and look over your right shoulder. Drop your chin down to that shoulder. You now feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. Come up. Turn your head the other way. Drop your chin down. Lift up. Turn to face forward. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Let's do that again. One more time to encourage good tall posture. Open your arms wide. And then open them further. Look up. Try opening up the chest. Bring your arms across for a hug. Open, switch your arms. Come in again. Lower down. Placing your right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up, look up at the hand. Reach your fingers up to the ceiling or sky so that you feel a big stretch on your side. And then take that upper arm over. And you might need to move that right arm out to help extend. And continue looking at your hand if you can. Increase your reach. And release. Come up. Let's switch. Reach tall. Look up. Finding length. Your arm out a little bit. Extend your arm. Look. Reach. Continue using your breath, and as you're exhaling, you're lengthening further through the side. You're reaching farther. Come back up and release. Interlace your fingers. And so depending on your flexibility, you can have your knuckles up to the ceiling or sky, or turn your hands around and push the palms of your hands up and look up. Pull in your low belly so that you have some strength through the spine, because your abdominal muscles help to support your spine. And then release. Lift up, right arm. Let's just do a little stretch for the back of the arms. Stretching your triceps. Keep breathing. And release, switch sides. And release. Just extend the legs. Feeling the back of the legs stretch. Sitting tall through the spine. And this might be a challenge just to sit up tall, depending how tight your legs are. You're bracing your lower abdominals. Shoulders are down. Take your right hand behind you, left hand outside that right leg. Just another gentle spine twist. Try keeping your legs active, pulling the toes in. And release. Did this feel a little bit different than when your legs were crossed? And release. Coming to the center, bringing the soles of your feet together. Being very gentle here, opening your feet like a book, knees pointing to the opposite sides of the room. Just lean forward enough that you feel a stretch through your inner thighs, but also in your lower back. And release. Bring the knees in. And let's change positions. Come to tabletop. So your hands, as a reminder, are under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. So you have stability. You have the long bones of your thigh and your arms to support your body weight. Let's alternate cat and cow. Rounding the back, scooping the belly in. Dropping, lifting chest. Rounding the back. And release. Sitting back on your knees. Sit up tall. If you have some knee issues, you can just come up and either stay standing on your knees. That might prevent some of the pressure, or you can put a towel underneath your knees. We're not going to stay here long, just long enough to get a gentle stretch here on the front of the thighs. Come back to tabletop. Reach your right hand forward, left leg back, pushing the heel the opposite way, the opposite direction of your fingers, pulling belly in, lengthening but lifting up through the core. Bend your knee, reach for your foot, lift up and twist. Can you feel the stretch on your thigh? Release. Have a helper. today. Switch sides. Reach your fingers forward, heel back. Keep lifting and lengthening. Reach for the foot. Looking over the shoulder, feeling the twist. Release, hands down to the ground. Open your knees, toes stay together. Move to wide knee, child's pose. Come back up, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time, let's thread the needle. Lifting right arm up, look up. Feel the stretch again across the lower back. And then come to your shoulders. Wrapping your other arm around your back. Stretching the front of the shoulder again. Maybe feeling a little stretch in your lower back, depending on how tight those muscles are. Hand returns to the ground. Take your gaze, follow the right hand up, and release. Switch sides. Reach up. Pause just enough that you can feel that stretch in your lower back. Come down to the shoulder. Wrap your other hand behind your back. So some of these stretches, you might not feel them in the areas that I'm talking about. And that's the beauty of yoga being individual. You might not have a tight low back, but you might feel the tightness in another area. Just become aware of where you are feeling the tension, and then try to focus your stretches to that area. Return right hand to floor. Left arm reaches up, comes back down to the ground. Let's move to downward facing dog. Lifting up hips, tucking under the toes. Feeling the stretch on the back of the body. So as you are pushing your hand to the ground, your index fingers forward, you're trying to catch a squirrel. I'm kidding. Okay, you're trying to turn your inside part of your elbows forward. Release, come to your knees. So remember at the beginning of practice, I said, what gives you joy? So most of the time, my animals, my pets give me joy. And my family gives me joy. And what you can't see is my daughter standing over here, snapping her fingers at the dog as if that's going to make him stop. So finding joy in the everyday. All right, coming back to your knees. Let's do so. So taking that right foot forward. And dropping your hips down. So this knee is over your ankle, so you have this shin to support you and you're sinking down. What does this have to do with your lower back? Well, these hip flexor muscles that you are stretching actually attach to your low back, to your spine. And so when these muscles tend to get really, really tight, then you have some low back discomfort and possibly pain. Drop your fingers down and be gentle as you shift back, lifting up toes. Feel a stretch on the back of the legs. Shift forward. Hey, buddy. Go ahead in. Okay, thank you. Shift back to stretch. One more time. Shift forward. This time, lift your arms up. Can you feel the body sinking down? Are you still using breath? Bring your hands down to the center of your chest in prayer, and then twist. So twist over the leg. Look behind you. Try keeping your shoulders still down. Come back to the center. Shift your weight back final time on this side. Release and walk that foot back. Switch sides. The hip flexor muscles get really tight when we're sitting a lot, and also depending on your regular physical activity. So if you're doing a lot of walking or bike riding, you really overwork these hip flexors and they just get really short and tight, so you need to stretch. Shift back. Hamstring stretch. Shift forward, sinking down. Shift back. So sometimes this moving in between postures helps the muscles release a little bit. Let's come forward, hold, sink deeper. Shoulders are down, reach up, hands to prayer, and twist. Looking over your shoulder. Come to the center again, shift back, hamstring stretch one more time. Come up, take your knee back, and let's return to down dog, just to lengthen out the back again. Dropping heels toward the ground. Maybe it's easier for your heels to drop down since you did a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Looking toward the belly button. Let's come high on the toes. Drop the heels down. Come back up. Drop the heels. One last time. Lift up. And lower down. Coming to the knees. Shifting back, child's pose. Legs together. Walk your fingers out. From child's pose, shift your weight forward. You stay down and just move into a cobra pose. Your legs are on the floor, shoulders are down, looking up, feeling a stretch across the front of the belly, the chest, and feeling a little work in your low back, press back. Child's pose. Come forward. Shift back. Use your breath as you're moving between the postures. Return to cobra pose. Move to down dog. Tuck under the toes. Lift the back. Drop the heels. Come out to a high plank. You have the option of coming straight down or dropping your knees and coming down to the ground. Just on my mat. Okay, let's move to Sphinx. The elbows are under your shoulders, lifting chest. You can feel your lower back working. Toes together. Legs are active, your glutes are engaged. You feel the stretch in the lower belly. Come down. Back. Toes are together. Lift to locust. You're lifting up the chest, the toes. You're reaching your fingers back and you're gazing forward, not directly forward straight ahead, but more off on the floor, looking past maybe a foot to 18 inches past the edge of your mat. So you still have a long neck, squeezing glutes. Can you lift up just a little higher? Come a little bit higher and release. You can take one cheek to the mat. And let's return. Lift up into your locust. Picture length. Toes together, toes pointing to the back of the room. Reaching your fingers back and release. Other cheek to the mat. Bend your knees. Reach for your feet. If you have a strap, you can use that. Bring your toes together. In this position, you're already beginning to roll the shoulders back a little bit. Lift up toes. So your chest start to expand. Lift toes higher. You can feel the front of your thighs stretch. And release. Return to the floor bow. Toes together, lift up. And roll onto your right side. Roll and stack. Come to the center, lift up. and roll to the other side. Center, lift up and release. Tops of the feet stay on the mat. Bring your hands in. And they can be up as high as your shoulder or down to your ribs. It honestly depends on your flexibility. Try to have the elbows pointing to the back of the room and not out to the side. Move into your upward facing dog. So in up dog, your thighs are off the ground. They're active, they're engaged. You're looking up or looking forward, opening up the chest. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Down dog. Come to the seated position and extend the legs out. Returning to this position from earlier in practice. Hopefully the hamstrings feel a little bit looser. From here, sitting up tall, reach forward, shins or your toes to fold forward. And as you are folding, you're lengthening, taking the crown of the head toward your feet. Using breath to sink deeper. You're active through the belly, so you're still pulling in the low abs. So envision that there's a bar that's going between your thighs and your belly, and you're trying to not touch it. So you're pulling in your core, but you can still breathe because you're just engaging those low abs. Your thighs are contracting to help you stretch deeper through the hamstring. And release. Extending your left leg. Bring your right foot in. Sit tall. Twist over your leg and then fold. Reaching forward. So as you're reaching forward, try to avoid extending your shoulders. Keep your shoulders down. So if you can't reach your foot, that's okay. Just don't try to reach your foot by extending the upper body. You want to be able to reach your foot because your hamstring and low back flexibility increase. Use breath to sink. And release. Come up. Switch sides. Lift, twist over the leg, and fold. And you feel the back muscles lengthening. Come up. Switch sides. This time, take your foot instead of inside the thigh, bring it up in a half lotus. So if this is uncomfortable on your knee, you can just cross with your leg down a little bit farther. But if you don't have knee issues and you have the flexibility, try bringing the foot up into your hip crease. And this might be a little uncomfortable on your thigh. And then begin to fold forward. If you have the flexibility, I don't think I can pull this off today. A little bit tight from my morning walk. You can reach for the foot and fold forward. And as you're folding forward, you are aiming to keep your shoulders level. And then come back up. Release, switch legs. Okay. Move again. Lift, and then fold forward. Finding length. So in all of these stretches that we're doing right now, all these poses, we're trying to lengthen the muscles, lengthen through the body. And release and come up. Switching legs again. Let's bend the right knee. Left leg is extended. Lift up your right arm. So the same side that your knee is bent, you're lifting up that arm. Lean forward and try wrapping your arm around your shin. And clasp your hands behind you. Okay, a lot going on here. You're aiming to not have a lot of tension up in the shoulders. So let the arms somewhat relax. Try pointing your knee toward the ceiling. And then your support, your other leg, your straight leg, the quads are engaged, your toes are up toward the ceiling, and you're still going for length. Release and come up. Keep your knee here. Let's lift the opposite arm and twist toward the leg. And you can keep your arm and wrap around, or if you have the flexibility and you want to take your arm behind, you may do that. That left leg has a flexed foot, a contracted thigh. And you're aiming to be tall through the spine as you are twisting. And release. Let's do that on the other side. Left knee points to the ceiling. Right leg is out. Lift up your arm, same leg that's bent. Reach forward. Wrap around the shin. Reach behind you and try clasping your hands. Your right thigh is strong, toes are pulled in. And you're aiming to take that left knee toward the ceiling, not having tension in your shoulders. And release, come up. Other arm lifts, twist toward the thigh, or take your arm behind you. Tall through the spine, and then twist. And release. Good. Let's bring the feet together again. Baddha Konasana. Bring your heels in toward your body. Let's see if we can go deeper now. Taking chest toward feet. Knees are wide. Come up and release. Round your back, crown of the head to the feet. And release and come up. All right, continuing on with our spine twists. Bringing your left foot in toward your bottom. And then take that right leg and come up and over. So you're sitting tall. And then twist. And just like in our straight leg version, you can either have your arm on the inside or on the outside. And if you are on the outside, perhaps you can place your hand down. And that leaves you the opportunity to twist farther behind you, pushing your arm into your leg. Your leg is pushing back. So you can be very passive here. You can just kind of twist. Or as you are twisting, you can push that arm in, and I'm going to exaggerate, and push my leg back. But by pushing both together, you're going to get an even bigger stretch. And release. Switch sides. Bringing the right foot in toward your bottom. Left leg comes up and over. Twist toward the leg. And take the arm on the outer part. You might notice that you can twist farther on one side than the other. Use your breath to move deeper. And come back to the center and release. Let's move into double pigeon since your foot is already down on the mat. Just adjust. You might scoot your bottom back a little bit. Try stacking heels, heel over knee, knee over heel. Sit tall at first. You can feel your hips, the outer part of your hips begin to stretch. And then move into whatever the fullest expression of the posture is for you today. So that could be just sitting right here, or you can come forward a little bit or come the whole way down. It's up to you. So whatever you do, move slowly and stay focused on your breath. So allow your breath to help your muscles release. Slowly come up and switch legs. This opposite leg comes down to the ground. Stack. I also like to just put my hands down and lift my butt off the ground to reset my pelvis so that the tailbone and everything is nice and aligned. It might help you as well. And so again, take your time, move to your fullest expression. So we're trying to stretch these hip muscles that'll loosen up the pelvis and loosen up your lower back because everything is connected. And then you can feel an actual stretch in your back as you're leaning forward. Slowly come up. Feet to the floor. Roll down onto your back. To move into your bridge pose. Your feet in line with your hips. Lift up. So you're tilting the pelvis first. Rolling onto your upper back. Pushing heels to floor. Lifting your hips as high as you can. Feeling the muscles across the pelvis, the front of the thighs release. Your chest muscles are opening, stretching. And then lower. Bring both knees into your chest. Extend your legs to the ceiling. Your option is to stay here in waterfall or to move into your shoulder stand. So if you're moving into shoulder stand, you want to engage your lower. You're going to continue looking toward the ceiling. Don't turn your head. And you'll support your lower back with your hands, the forearms or the upper arms supporting you. So lifting up, pointing your toes toward the ceiling, looking toward your toes, strong straight leg. Bending the knees, bringing your legs down. Toes come together. Your goal is to place your knees on the floor. Bring your hands back to your lower back. Knees come in. Roll onto your back. Open your arms and drop both knees to one side of the room. So you can keep both knees together, or if you have the space and you want to have an extra challenge, you can straighten that top leg. Now look the opposite direction. Feel the twist in the low back. Come to the center and bring your knees up and over to the other side. Extending your top leg if that's what you did on the opposite side. Can you feel your lower back release? Can you feel the hip muscles stretching just a little bit more? Come to the center, bring your knees into the center. Roll up in a ball. Release down, flex your feet. Reach for the outside part, the happy baby. Roll a little bit side to side. Stop in the center. Knees to chest one more time. Shavasana. Corpse pose, extend your legs. Palms up. Let your feet just drop out naturally. Close your eyes. Perhaps you want to go back to the reflection that I suggested earlier. What brings you joy? Where can you find joy? You may stay in Shavasana or come to a seated position. My quote today is by Stephen Chosky from The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And the quote is thus: "There's nothing like deep breaths after laughing that hard. Nothing in the world like a sore stomach for the right reasons." So I hope you find joy today and every day. Just pause, think of the things that make you happy. I hope you get some belly laughs in. I wish you a sore belly and a heart full of joy. Until I see you in person or again virtually, I wish you well. Namaste. Have a good day.